Big news. On Forerunner, we are getting adjustments to how ancient summons work, making the rare, good heroes more likely. And this is coming to global very, very soon, and I wanted to highlight it. I was going over a little tiny update announcement, which has already come out a couple days ago, which will also be coming to global later, and it just was too small for me to make a video on. This is pretty big, but there is still something missing, which I do want to highlight and go into a little bit here. So, let's go into it. So first of all, we have this notice. Ancient Summoning Rate Up Adjustments. Now, I have been sent this privately a couple days before it released to ask my thoughts, and I can already say it's a pretty good change. Going to this, we say, Dear Commander, as more heroes join the land of Tia, the number of legendary heroes in the Ancient Summoning has gradually increased, which is true. I mean, we're getting a new lord literally this week, with some of these heroes also existing in the Invocation of Spirits / Divine Summoning. Stuff like Araka, Corridor, Morgan, King Hars, Leia, these units can still be pulled on Ancient Shards. And it really, really, really sucks when that does happen, right? Now, they say to enhance Commander's overall summoning experience, starting from the next Ancient Summoning, aka the brand new Lord that is coming this weekend, we've decided to make optimization adjustments to the Ancient Summoning, increasing the drop rates for powerful heroes, ensuring that every summon provides commanders with higher quality rewards. Now, here are the adjustments. First of all, the big one for me, because I tend to pull these guys all the time, is they are removing Valkyra, Constance, Valeria, and Cerberus. For a little bit of information on these guys, these are the only heroes that overlap, apart from lords. These are the only non-lords that overlap between the ancient manners and the non-ancient manners. And it really, really sucks when you pull your A10 Valkyra. Even if you're free to play, people have a lot of Valkyras. And then when you pull another one, it's like you've just wasted. I mean, you could have got Valara, but nah, you got Valkyra. So how does that make you feel? It makes you feel bad. So they're completely removing that from the pool altogether, which is a very good change. Next, when commanders obtain Lord heroes through Ancient Summoning, there will be higher drop rates for powerful Lord heroes / the unnameable. Now this scares me because this may mean that it's higher chance for Ajax, which would be really bad, but that remains to be seen. Basically, what they mean by powerful and unnameable is they're going to be talking about things like, Gon and Valderon are powerful. Kratos is powerful. The lords that are not pullable on blue and divine summons, Nastia, Cyrus, Iovar, Solkadins, Demi, all of these, especially with Matrix coming out, are now good. I mean, even Elder is not bad anymore. Same with Demi. These all have inherently tons more value than the normal ones. So they're just completely changing the rates on those to make the ancient exclusives more likely, making it as far as twice the drop rate of the other heroes, which is very, very good. And as you can see, they do explain which powerful Lord heroes and unnameable this is. And the good thing is there is no Ajax, right? So in the future, these will also have their base rates doubled over the non-ancient exclusive legendary lords, which is good, which means that future heroes like the one we're getting this weekend is going to have double the rates of the normal heroes. So you're going to be less likely to get Ahars from ancients, which is huge, right? And the base drop rates for heroes of different rarities, such as legendary lord heroes, legendary heroes, blah, 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 remain completely unchanged. That's the update. So basically, when you pull on ancients, instead of accidentally getting a Twin Fiend or a Hars at the equal rate of getting, something like an Iovar and a Kratos, it's now going to be twice as likely for you to get one of the good ones, which is amazing. This is a great, great change. This is how it should have been at the start. I mean, I have a friend who went from no Hars to A4 Hars in about a week, and has basically no Anchored, no Kratos, none of the really good lords. And this change is really going to benefit him, right? I think this is a good thing. But there is one thing missing. So generally for ancient shards, there's one thing that people complain about all the time, and it is completely valid, and that is non-lords. Heroes like Valara are incredibly important. Heroes like Carnelian are incredibly important. Ardea is very good. Uridan, if you care about BP. I mean, I think Lube is good. But even if I wanted some of these, I can't really have good odds to pull them. That's just how it works. I mean, Erling, you basically need him for anti-arena if you want to hit Apex. You don't even need Lady A if you have this guy. But if you don't have this guy, what are you going to do, right? Pull Valara? Well, Valara is also hard to get because there's no non-lord pity, right? So if we go to the banners, you can see that they have something called pity timer, right? I can't show you guys the ancient summons because they're not on right now, but you can see that after 180 on blue summons, you get a pity timer activation, which guarantees in 200. Now, ancient pity is a little bit lower, and it's only for legendary lords. Your Iovars, your Pratises, your Ingrids, which is good because those are very important. But there's not a corresponding thing for heroes like Valara, Carnelian, Ardea. You know, these heroes that are non-lords don't have that, right? There are cases of people going 700 ancients or more with no non-lords at all. And while that's an outlier, the whole idea of the pity system is to stop outliers. That's the whole entire point. And we don't have that, which is the main issue with ancient banners, in my opinion. Yes, the lords pulling a Hars is the worst feeling ever, and it's bad, and this is a great change. But once again, I feel like Moonton is kind of getting half of the point and not the full point, you know? This should have come with a non-lord pity because that's what it needs. I'm not saying it's what we want, I'm saying it's what we need, right? It is the worst to spend freaking over $2,000 worth of ancients and not even be guaranteed to get any non-lord. And beyond that point, it's also not even a guaranteed chance to get the hero you want, which is fine if we had a non-lord pity, right? They just need to add a non-lord pity the same way there's a lord pity for like 150 ancients. If you pull 150 ancients, no matter what, no matter how unlucky you are, you get a non-lord. Make it slightly lower than lords because non-lords are generally less useful, and just add it. That's all they have to do, right? That's my rant out of the way. That's what they need to do. I've been vocal about this. I told them this multiple times. They asked me on my opinion of this change beforehand, and I told them the same thing. I said it's a good change. I think it's, you know, definitely a good addition and should be there. But if you add this, you have to add non-lord pity because we need non-lord pity. It is not a request. It is a plea for help, right? Now there's some other stuff that's coming to global pretty soon. We're having rare skill crystals in the arena shop, which is weird, but okay. Redemption limit for auto fight chance in arena shop has been increased, which is good if you're running low on auto fights. It used to be you'd run low on auto fights all the time, and it was like impossible to get them. Now they drop like candy in the shop, so you can kind of get whatever you want. Fixed an issue where buffs of the same function with but shorter effect duration would incorrectly override those with longer effect duration. This I really liked because in stuff like Abyss, my Volca and my Sulcanins, you know, if I have to do a takeover, they'll kind of overlap, and then one won't be applied, and then the other one will like be about to expire, and then I've just completely wasted a vulnerability. That's a good thing. Fixed an issue where some heroes would have occasionally failed to launch a basic attack in Tide. You know, bug fixes are good. Optimized hero promotion interface, bug fixes are good, and UI and whatever. Optimize the plays for demon soldier sources to be more accurate, which is good. Contribution calculation from attacking bot stronghold, which is, you know, good. Optimizations are good. Optimize the anti-cheat mechanism for Tide. What anti-cheat mechanism? There's anti-cheat in this game? What the heck? Who's cheating in freaking Tide? How? I don't know. And then we're also significantly reduced the difficulty of stages 15 and 18 in the Cultist faction trial. This is actually really important, okay? So faction trials for cultists are impossible. It is one of the only genuinely impossible pieces of content in this game. It is Trial of the Cultists, certain malware calls with certain modifiers, but that's super RNG. And then there is Matrix high scores. You know, getting above 150 in Matrix is currently impossible. Even when the new heroes come out, it'll still probably be impossible. And the other thing is Trial of the Cultist. Now, maybe Ezerith and Felice would have made it possible, but they're significantly nerfing 15 and 18, which makes it actually possible. That is a very good change as well. There's a good update. But once again, non-Lord Pity is a must, and we need it now. Alright? In this game, I feel like a lot of the time, changes are really good. There's no downsides. But they're still missing something, right? For example, the Soulstone Shards. I mean, I've made it very clear. I think the Soulstone Shards are not as bad as people think. That's just my opinion. You know, I've gotten almost a 12th of the Soulstone Shards already. You know, I will be getting 1.5, if not more, unpolished this year, which I will not be able to, which I wasn't able to get in the previous years. But objectively, the way that Soulstone's system works right now is BS, right? There's really no actual Soulstone Pity, right? They say there isn't. Or if there is, it's not enough, right? And then the Soulstone rates are miserable. I mean, a guildmate of mine has gotten like 3 Soulstones this week, and I've gotten 1 Soulstone in 6 months. So you know what I mean? Like it's incomparable, right? So the Soulstone, the way it drops at the beginning needs to be changed. But we're getting the Soulstone Shards, which once again is a good change, it's additive. But the issue still lies in the core idea of the Soulstone dropping, which needs to change, right? If the Soulstones dropped more consistently and more evenly, I think people would be a bit more okay with the Soulstone Shards because they actually have fixed the system that should have been fixed a while ago, right? That's kind of my perspective. So that's kind of another thing here is, hey, we need non-Lord Pity. So instead, they're going to make Lords easier and more consistent to get, good ones, which is good. But they need to come together. That's just my point. That's what I'm saying. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you later. Hopefully more Matrix and Elise and Ezerith content coming soon. I've been so busy with GVG and freaking Matrix. We finally downed it. I got a transmutation gem and I got the thing I wanted. So I've been doing good. How have you guys been? And that's it for me. Like and subscribe. Destined signing out.